can attend. And let's see.
Sarah, we'll be working with the budget sheet, will we, like we did the other day?
Yes.
Okay.
So that you should be able to get into that right. I mean, the application is open. You've got the spreadsheet, right?
I don't have control. I've got the spreadsheet, but I don't have control.
You don't have control? Oh, okay. I'll give it back to you. Sorry, I was trying to manipulate my screen. So that means that if I manipulate my screen, you lose control, which means I won't be able to see who else comes on the call, but we'll start with who we have, and I'll figure it out later. Okay?
I can't see it either anymore. Okay.
But you
All
have
right.
Sarah, hello.
Yes?
Sarah, this is Christy Conrad. I had to come on by phone.
Yes.
Is it, I can hear you on my computer. Would it be okay for me not to have the phone?
Well, if you want to ask questions, you'll want the phone. So,
okay.
So I would
All
say
right,
just
I'll
keep
stay
it
with
open.
the phone.
And that seems to be a common thing. There were a couple of other people who had issues with the microphone on their computer.
Right.
So,
Right.
but yeah, no, keep it open so that you can ask questions, because that's really what this is all about. Okay, I'm going to hand it over to Nancy.
Hi, everybody.
Hello. Hi.
My name is Nancy Little, and I teach Microsoft Office products for Dover Adult Ed, and we teach out in the community as well. We go on site to companies, whoever needs Microsoft Office, Excel, Word, PowerPoint, Access, whatever. So I'm very pleased to join you today, and I understand that we'll be doing some modifications to the budget sheet as far as adding rows and things of that nature and copying things from Word documents. Although, do you have a Word document open, Sarah?
No, but we can, I'm going to open one for you.
Okay.
I should probably pick a good one. Here, you can read my notes from yesterday. And I probably you probably lost control, but hold on just a minute. Let me just open that up. Just to excuse all the typos. I was trying to type while they were giving me a, in the middle of a thing. So you should be able to minimize that and be able to access both of those things now.
We'll forgive you. I have a black screen right now. Let me see. Okay. All right. I don't know how I'll get back to the Word document, but I'm in the.
I'll pull it up.
Okay. Thank you. Can everybody see this Excel document?
Yes.
Okay. And we're on the budget. If you look down here at the bottom, you have several worksheets. This entire thing called Attachment to ABE Application and Budget Revised is referred to as a workbook. And what you see down here are worksheets. And you can have up to 255 worksheets inside a workbook. Of course, if you fill it out, you'll never be able to open the darn thing unless you work at MIT and you have a supercomputer. But regardless, you can have a lot of sheets down here, and the sheets can be manipulated. You won't be actually manipulating the sheets, but you may have to find the sheets, and probably one of the easiest ways. Do you see these arrows? Can you see where I'm pointing here in the left-hand corner?
Yeah.
Bottom corner? Well, these arrows become a mechanism to move this entire window back and forth so you can see the sheets that are under the scroll bar. But, excuse me, probably one of the easiest ways to do it, rather than doing this all day long, would be to right-click. You can right-click on one of those arrows, and then you get a list of what the sheets are. And then you just pick the sheet you want to go to. That's probably the easiest way to navigate the sheets. Is that news to any of you?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. That's an excellent shortcut that people usually like. But before we even do that, when you're emailed a workbook and you open the attachment, you shouldn't really be working with it until you download it to your system. If you try to enable it and work on it through your email, you won't know where the changes save, and you won't be able to send it back to anyone. So make sure the first thing you do when you get an email with a workbook is to download it to your system. And if it's something you're going to be working with a lot, you can save it to your desktop where it's handy. Is that okay for them to do, Sarah? Or do you prefer they don't?
Yeah, I don't have any, I mean, it's however their computers are set up in each of their programs. But I just want to make a note that the application that you're looking at currently, you'll notice that there's some slight differences, like the colors on the tabs. So when I went through this with Nancy, she made some recommendations, and I had some revisions I had to do to the worksheets anyway. So that was one of the things that I did. I will be sending out and posting the revised copies sometime today, depending on my internet access.
Okay, thank you.
So don't start doing this until you send us the revised ones?
You can do it, but you probably will want to copy it over. So if you want to play with the one you have right now and do your final one on it'll just be easier because there were a couple of lines that were missing and there were some formatting things that will make it easier for you with the revised one. So I will, Deb, I will get those out today.
Sarah?
Yes?
Sarah, is that only the ABE
No, all of
one,
them.
or in the ESOL and
All of them.
transitions and
Yep, I fixed
all
all
the
of
rest
them.
are being revised?
Yep, demonstrated effectiveness and all 5 WIOA adult education programs, transitions, and the adult diploma. All of them have been fixed. And there are no significant differences. The only thing that was significant was that under the education functioning level, the ABE intermediate high was missing. But everything else is really all just about formatting. I made it so that your cursor doesn't go to the bottom of the box, it goes to the top of the box. I made it so the links work, things like that. There's nothing else, there's no significant changes to the actual content. There's no changes to the content at all. Okay?
So when we're typing in a box, it's going to start at the top of the box instead of the bottom, right?
Right.
Oh, good.
So they're just formatting issues, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
If they copy information, if they've started and they copy information from their current sheets to the sheet that you're sending, then they should copy it without the formatting because it's going to copy the formatting back over.
Yep.
Does everybody understand that?
No.
So,
Go ahead, Sarah.
So what I was going to suggest, Nancy, is when you show them how to copy and paste from Word, when
Yes.
you go to paste it, you can talk about how you paste it without formatting.
Okay. All right. Good. We'll do that. Thank you. Okay. So at this point, you have downloaded it to your system. There's a caveat about putting it on your desktop, and that is if the organization does not back up your desktops, then you stand a chance of losing it if you lose a hard drive or something. So just keep that in mind. You might want to put it in your documents. I don't know what your agency backs up at night. Okay, so you'd want to download it then. When you do, and you first open it, you'll see a big yellow line right about here. And it will say, it will have an enable content button. Has anybody ever seen that? That's a security issue when you first download something from somebody. So all you have to do is hit enable content. And you'll have to do that before you can make and save any changes. So remember that. So you've downloaded it, you've enabled content. And now we want to enter some information on the budget sheet here. And I want you to notice on the budget sheet, if you click on any of these total cells, see how you see a formula up here? Okay. That formula, if you will copy over, if you insert another item, you might have another item in here. Now, I noticed, Sarah, you put here enter type of service. So they have 2 extra lines here, is that correct?
Yep.
Will
Yep.
they need any more than that? Do I need to show them how to insert lines and all that?
Yeah, if there's a couple of places where there are not extra lines,
Okay,
they may need to do.
okay.
I'm trying to think of which one we played with. I tried to put in, some extra things. So if you go back up to the to salaries under teachers, some programs have more than 10 teachers, and I think I only put in 10 lines or 6 lines. There we go.
Okay, all right.
I'm going to show you how to insert additional lines and not screw up the formula.
Okay. So you notice there are formulas in here, and the rest of these are just blank boxes. And you can tell by looking up here. Okay, this
So
one,
when I clicked on water and surge, nothing came up for a formula. Up in the upper box, it just came up water sewer. There was no formula.
where is that?
Under purchase property services, where you were some time ago.
What row?
Keep going.
400 purchased property services.
No, what
The row number.
the row number right in here in this gray area? Can you give me the row number?
110.
Okay, thank you. Okay,
Okay, so when you click on that, you get a formula.
and you don't.
I do.
Okay,
I get up in that box. All I get is water, sewer. That's all I get.
right here in B, in cell B, 110.
You got it right there. Yep.
Okay, all right. And then you have these blank cells under enter
Yep.
the monthly cost. Okay. And if you click on E110, you don't have anything. What happens if you click on E111? The row beneath it.
I have a 420 up there, but I don't have the when I clicked on the 111, up in that box is 420.
Are you clicked on E111?
Yep.
And it says 420 in there. How about 112?
Okay, if it's move your
I
cursor
get,
over
if
4 boxes.
I'm on the right, if I'm on 112 on my screen, it's disposal services, and that's what comes up in the top. No
Okay,
formula.
but move your cursor over 3 boxes to the right.
Oh, okay, got it. Now I
Okay.
understand.
Under
Yep.
total,
I understand.
right?
Yep.
Okay. All right, but I will be showing you, there will be times when you'll lose formulas, and I will be showing you in a moment how to copy formulas. So that's not an issue. Okay, so you know how to navigate these sheets. It's probably easier to right-click on any one of those arrows, go to the sheet you want. And let's say you come down here, and we'll go to the, what row were the teachers on, Sarah?
Up at by the 20s. Yeah, it's at the top. Keep going down.
30, 31.
Okay. Does everybody see what I'm doing to get where I want to go quickly?
Yeah.
Okay, up here in this name box, you can type in a column and a row, and it will take you right there. So if you know your teaching stuff is in the 30s, you can navigate quickly to it. Okay, so let's say we need to add more teachers. Notice in column F, and when I say column F, the column headers are up here. Okay, it starts at column A and it goes way over to column XFD. These are the column names, if you will. Okay, so it goes over to Z, and then it starts AAABAC, and then BABBC. It goes all over to, it goes over to XFD. So this is column F, and column F is where, in this case, under teaching staff, is where you have your totals. Now, let's say you have filled this area. You have filled this area, and you need a couple of more rows, or one more row. When you want to insert a row, the row will insert above wherever your mouse is. And your mouse has to be on one of these row headers. Column headers are letters, A, B, C, D, E. Row headers are numbers. I'm sure you've all noticed that. So in order to affect an entire row, your mouse has to be, let's say, right here on the 41. And if I were to click on the 41, it selects that row all the way over to column XFD. Without moving my mouse, if I want to insert a row, I can right-click right on the 41, and I get a toolbox that comes up. And I can click Insert, or I can hit the letter I on my keyboard. You notice the I is underlined in the word Insert? When you see a word that's a letter that's underlined in any of these, that means if you hit the letter, it will trigger that command. I'm going to click on Insert, and it insert a row above. And now I have an extra row. If I go over to here to look in the formula, there is no formula there. It's funny it didn't copy. I don't know why it didn't copy it over, Sarah.
Yeah, it worked when we did it before, but
Okay, but that's okay. You will encounter things like this, and it's good for you to know how to manage these. So I just inserted a row. I notice if I click here, there's no formula there. So I can copy a formula. I can go to the row above it. I'm going to click in that cell above it. And does everybody know how to issue a copy command? Copy and paste. Is anybody not familiar with copying and pasting?
Control V.
What's that? Yeah, Control C will copy, or you can use the copy command up in your ribbon, or you can right-click on the cell, and you can issue a copy command here by hitting a C or clicking on copy. And then so I just fed this up into the clipboard, and now I'm going to paste it. You have to go to the destination. I just picked it up at the source, and I'm going to click at the destination, which in this case is F41, and I'm going to right-click. And you have some paste options in here, okay? The first one will simply paste everything, including the format, and that's fine. That's what I want to do, so I'll use this first paste. And now you have your formula here. And I'm going to show you another way to do that as well. Okay, so let's say I need 2 more rows. I'm going to select 2 rows, any 2 rows here. So I selected 40 and 41. I'll leave my mouse on the 41 and right-click and insert, and it will insert 2 rows. So it will insert however many rows you selected to begin with, and it inserts them above the row that you've selected. There's another way to copy. If I were to click on this cell above, and I notice up here, so you have the formula up here, there's a little, I don't know what you're seeing. I'm seeing a big square that has black lines. I'm not seeing my regular mouse. Are you people seeing a mouse?
I see a plus sign.
Okay.
I see a plus sign.
Okay. Is it a plain plus without the arrows?
Yes.
Okay. The way to get that on your screen, I can't see it here, but there's a little box. Can you see a little black box in the corner of the cell that's selected? It almost stands on its own, right-hand bottom corner.
Do you want me to manipulate that? I should be able to do that with mine.
Sure. You can, when you get that plain black cross
Yep.
on that box, that is your autofill box, and you want the plain black cross, not the one with the arrows. Show them the one with the arrows, Sarah.
That one?
Not that one. That's a selection. The one that, right on the border.
Yeah.
Put it on the bottom border.
I can't. I don't have that one.
Yeah, right there.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that one means move it.
Yeah, that's a different mouse. You don't want that one. If you want to copy a formula, you want the plain black cross, and you get that by putting your mouse on that box in the corner. And you can click and hold and drag down to where you want to paste those and let go. Okay? So you can copy formulas that way. There will be times. In this sheet, the way this is done, you'll be fine. That doesn't work in all cases, just so you know. But for your purposes here, it will work. Okay. Now notice, when Sarah did that, the formula up here, where we copied it from, says C39 times D39 times E39. If I click on the one below it, it didn't make an exact copy. It changed it to 40. And the one below that, it changed it to 41. When you copy a formula, it makes it relative to the row to which you are copying it. So it doesn't make an exact copy, otherwise you would get the same results all the time. Does that make sense to you? Okay. All right. Was that a resounding yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. There are times, another reason to know this, not only for inserting cell, but there are times Sarah says that you're allowed to enter a salary in here. If it doesn't meet this rule, then you can type, I'm going to type a number in here and hit enter. And once you type a number in there, then it types a number. It gets rid of the formula. You just overwrote the formula.
I got some.
What's that?
Sorry. Sorry, there's activity going on in this house.
Oh, oh, okay. People going to the beach, are they?
No, filling the refrigerator.
Oh, okay. Get me a cold one.
So if you know the amount, you can put the amount in there?
Yeah.
Sarah, I'll let you feel that.
Yes, if you have a salary amount, kind of like the question you asked the other day, Deb, about you couldn't figure out a formula to deal with the 97 cents or whatever it was. Yes, you can override it and just put in a total amount.
But use the formula because I gotta figure out the $99, right?
Well, you don't need to use the formula as long as you explain to me where you got the number that's in column F. If it's a straight salary as opposed to an hourly wage, then
Right, that's all it is, because
Yep.
it's
Yep.
above and beyond. She helps me test and things like that. So whatever hours, she can't go over $99.
yeah, so just put whatever it is, whatever the amount is, just overwrite the formula, and then everything else will work fine.
You hope. Okay.
Sarah, something,
I have a question on the far left-hand side, in this section. When you're inserting, there's no correction done in terms of the numbering, not the row number, but the next row over of the number of staff position. That needs to be done manually.
Yes, and you know, truthfully, I just put those in for people's reference. Those numbers are not connected to anything, unless you wanted to count the number of teachers you have. So yes, you can just go in and those are just text. You can just write over them.
let me show you an easy way to do that as well. If you grab, you start with numbers 1 and 2, and you grab those, and you know that autofill box that I just showed you? If you grab that, can you grab that, Sarah, because I can't see, and autofill it down, and it will put the numbers in for you automatically.
Ta-da!
Ta-da. Look how easy. But when you do numbers, you have to grab the first 2, because within your selection has to be the increment by which you want it to count. In other words, if I wanted it to count by 5s, I would start off with a 5 and a 10, and I would select both boxes. Okay, you have to tell Excel the increment by which you want it to count, and you do that by starting it off and choosing your 2 initial cells. Okay? Any questions on that?
No, but you could turn that into a really nice math lesson with patterning. Just saying.
Oh, okay. Not today, though, right?
No.
Now,
Okay,
keep in
Sarah, what's
mind,
in the coffee?
keep in mind when you're inserting rows, try to pick a row that has a formula in it. So if you have a situation like this, try not, well, although you're copying formulas anyway, so it doesn't matter. But if you copy a row like this, it definitely, you won't get your formula. You'll get the 1800. Sarah, we didn't discuss, do you want me to show them how to make comments in cells so they can explain things?
Nope. There's a box for that.
No?
There's a box
Okay.
for that on the budget narrative.
Okay, all right, good. Okay, are there any other questions so far? Okay. No? Okay. So let's, where would you copy information from a Word document, Sarah? Would it be in the ABE application?
Probably. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you want to go back to the ABE application, I'll open up a Word document for you.
Okay.
Okay, so this is not really going to answer this question, but I just have a random Word document from notes that I took yesterday.
Okay, so this is just the technique.
Yep.
Okay. I want you to notice something. I've clicked in here. Sarah did a real nice job merging all of these cells, so I have one big box that I can type in. If you look up here in the ribbon in the alignment, this is vertical and horizontal alignment for this cell. So if you're having trouble with the alignment, if it were set here, then you might want to go back and set it here, and then your words will come out in the right place.
So that's one of the revisions I did is I went through every single text box on every single spreadsheet and made them all top left aligned. So that'll be in the revised worksheets.
Okay, so this is top and this is left.
Yep.
Okay, and if you point to them and if you hover over them and wait a minute, it tells you that. So if you're having any issues, then you can set these yourself. Okay. All right, so can we go over to the Word document?
Yep. Can you see it? No.
No, all I'm seeing is a black screen.
Okay. I'm gonna
Can
have,
anybody else see it?
No.
Oh, here we go.
yeah, I just changed it. I'm gonna have to do this to walk me through it, and I'll do it because I have to switch the screen share each time I switch applications. But I can do that.
Okay. Now, if you're selecting data in a Word document, you probably all know how to click and drag. If you're having an issue with that, there's another way you can do it that you might find easier. And that would be to click at the beginning. Let's say we wanted to, from the beginning right down to that last bullet point after support community college students. Now, rather than click and drag, let's say you click before, at the beginning, hold the Shift key down on your keyboard, and then click at the end. And a lot of people, so they have more control that way. You can use a Control-C, or you can hover, you can put your mouse, it has to be in the blue section. You can't put your mouse out in the middle of nowhere. If you're going to right-click, make sure you right-click within the selection, and then select the copy command. And then you're going to go over to your Excel sheet. And then click in the box where you want to put it. And then go up to, in your clipboard, on your Home tab in your clipboard group, click on the bottom portion of the paste command. You can close, do you want me to show them how to use the clipboard, or are you going to close that?
Oh, I don't know.
Let's close it for now. Okay, thank you. The bottom portion of the paste command, are you clicked in the cell where we want to paste it?
Yes.
Okay. And then point to the first one and see how it says keep source formatting. That will keep whatever formatting you had in Excel. If you want those bullet points, you'll have to keep your source formatting. The other one, if you go over to the right, that next one.
Yeah, it doesn't want to do that. Whoop.
It doesn't want to do that.
That's not good.
I'm looking at a black screen.
Yeah, it just told me that I just locked up my computer. I was afraid of that. Hold on. It'll come back in a second.
This was the last thing we had on the syllabus, so.
I'm sure there's questions, but this is the problem with
Good.
working remotely.
I like questions. Especially when you want to be at the beach.
Yeah, well, again, not all that great outside, so not there yet. Okay. No, yeah. Sometimes I hate my computer.
It's okay. I think it went rather well.
Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing just for a second to see if I can get this back. I cannot minimize while I'm doing a recording. That's interesting.
Did you catch all of that, Sarah?
Oh, okay. I got it back. Hold on.
Beautiful.
Can you see it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is what I was trying to do, was to show you what the paste option when you're matching the destination formatting. So
Thank you.
to match it what's already in the Excel spreadsheet. But we don't want that in this particular case, and I don't know if it's still on my clipboard, but I guess we'll find out. Okay. This is where the problems come in.
Okay. We're copying something from Word, some text from Word. So it's telling you that the data you have in the clipboard is not the same shape and size. Do you want to paste the data anyway? Because the data you're copying isn't the same size as the block in the, it really doesn't know the difference. So just click OK. Oh, and it's not going to let you do it?
Nope. But I have an answer to this. If you go up here and you paste, it will put it in for you. So what I did was I went up to the formula bar and I pasted it in there instead of trying to paste it in the merge cell. Do you guys want to see that again? Because I know this was something that you asked a lot of questions about. And somebody even said, how do I get those bullet points in there? Well, this is how you do it.
Does anybody need to see that again?
So is it, when you override it that way, or when you choose that other option there, it actually will shrink the size of the font? So when it's printed out, it's very small. Is that true?
That very well could be, because I have, yes. Yes, the answer is yes, Christy, because when I set up the print on the spreadsheets, I wanted them to fit on a page, and so I had to manipulate the size. So depending on how much you put in the box. But this is why I also said to be concise, and I didn't want a lot of extra stuff in there. So yeah, the more you put in there, the smaller the print is going to be, and this is why I need an electronic copy. because I can change that on my end if I have to. Does that make sense?
We aren't going to see everything that we put in there then, right?
Well, you'll see it on the computer. When you go to print it out, it may be small. So that was the one thing that was on the list, Nancy, that we haven't done yet is printing.
In what capacity? Printing, what type?
So if I go up to my file and I go to print, I might have a problem with this because I have no printers connected. But usually over here on this side, it's going to give me a preview of what it looks like. If I'm going to lock up my computer again, I can tell because it's looking for a printer that doesn't exist.
Here we go.
Yeah, except for that it's looking for a printer at the state office, which again,
Oh.
never going to find while I'm down here. So,
Okay.
but if you,
Do you want to show them scaling? Is that what you're looking for?
yeah, so I can do that from here. Right? Maybe.
Well, see, you're adjusted to 67% here. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm not
That's
sure
gonna be
how
kinda small.
you do without a printer, but I have it set so that it only will print the parts that, where there are questions and answers, but it will adjust the size of the print based on how much you put into those cells.
So is there anything for them to trigger in here?
Nope, I just, no, but this was an answer to how small it gets. Yes, I'm aware of the fact that it will get very small. It's okay.
Okay.
I'll hand out magnifying glasses to the reviewers.
Do you need to fit it on a certain amount of pages?
I don't, but for everybody's sanity, yeah, I mean, I don't want it to be 180 pages. So, so again, think about what you put in there and being concise to the best of your ability, but know that if I need to manipulate the electronic piece when I get it, I will. Does that help, Christy?
Yes.
Okay, and I think, Carol, I think Lauren had the same question. I think she said something about sending me stuff in 4 font,
Okay,
which I absolutely cannot read, but that's okay because if I have an electronic version, I can make it bigger.
got it. Thank you.
Well, you don't really want them changing the size of the font because you're going to scale it, right? So
Right,
they
well, that's what I'm saying. She said when it goes to print out, it would be in 4 font because it's scaling, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't be up here playing with the font.
Yeah, don't play with it. Don't worry about it. I'll take care of it on my end.
Okay, so we can use a 12 font typically the way we would in a Word document, and that
Yep.
would be all right?
Yep, go ahead and paste in there from Word. It's not going to keep your formatting if you see, except for like the bullet points, but like this, I don't think it kept any of the, other formatting. It might have.
Well, it's the default is Calibri 11,
Right.
and 11 is standard for. Although
And
I don't have control, do I?
No, and that's what the Word document was written in too, because I just never changed it yesterday. Nancy, I'm giving you control back.
Okay, thank you.
Is it to Calibri 11?
That's the default font for Excel.
7%.
It is for Word as well, and so that document that I copied from was written in the same font and size, so there's no way to, yeah. I mean, that's just what it was.
Yeah. And that's fine, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay. What you see on the screen isn't the way it's going to print. That's a different, that's a whole different ballgame, and Sarah will manipulate that any way she needs to. But as she said, I'd forgotten about that, Sarah. When you paste, paste into the formula box, the formula bar here, not directly into the cell, because merge cells will give you grief that way.
Sorry, I think I screwed that up.
What's that?
I hit the mouse. Sorry.
Oh, okay. So, do you have any questions on anything we've covered, first of all?
No?
Sarah, do you think you should, if anybody, if you're comfortable with it, then you can ask me any questions you want about Excel or any of these sheets or Excel in general, as far as manipulating data and all that. Do you have any questions about Excel in general? Do you all know how to use the view, the 100%? I can't point. Okay, down at the bottom here, where you have the slider, the zoom. Do you all know how to use that? Raise your hand if you don't, or say something if you
You can't
don't.
raise your hand because we never figured out how to do that.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
When would we
Oh.
use that?
This affects.
The 100% no.
This affects the way you see things on the screen. So let's go back to the budget. And let's say this is looking really small. I can use the zoom bar to make it larger.
Oh, okay.
Okay. This affects the way it is on the screen, not anywhere else, not in print. I can also click on the 100%, and I can make it 80% isn't in here. If I want it to be 80%, I would do custom, and I type an 80 in there and hit enter. Okay. So it depends how much you want to see on the screen. You can zoom it smaller if you want to see more on the screen. You can make it larger if your eyes require that. Okay.
Can I take the mouse just for a sec, Nancy? Because I
Sure.
think somebody has a question and I can't see it unless I,
Sure.
oh, okay. Joanne said she understood whatever it was that we asked if they understood. So, I think you have control back.
I
Okay.
have a question about the
Okay.
demonstrated. Okay. I have a question about the demonstrated effectiveness.
Okay.
Because I don't have boxes appearing under the questions.
Okay.
I don't know.
Give me a second so that I can open that up. Okay. Let me open up that spreadsheet.
Hold on. There was one form that I had, and now that I look at it here,
I don't know the reason.
actually, it might have been the ESL application where, the same sections that are in the ADE ones. We have section 1, responsiveness to regional needs, section 2, serving monthly needs. On one of my spreadsheets, I don't have boxes under those questions.
Oh,
You know,
for corrections? You're talking about for corrections?
no, I don't have, it has the headline.
Okay. First of all, which spreadsheet, Christy? Demonstrated effectiveness or ESL?
I have to find it. Let me work on this.
Okay.
Let me pull it. It's under ESL.
This is the unrevised one. I just opened the wrong one.
Actually, you know what? It's not one that I'm going to have to do. It's under the correction section that doesn't have boxes under that. I'm not doing that.
Okay, so
I'm not doing-
under corrections, I know this was confusing for some people. So looking at the corrections education, I'm going to look at the ABE. So there are only certain areas that I needed additional information related specifically to corrections. So these ones right here, section 3, section 4, section 5, section 6, section 7, and 6. Those are all things that would be answered in your regular ABE application and would apply to corrections. But if there was something that was very specific to corrections, then I put in an additional question. So that's why there's nothing here for these, okay?
Yeah, got it. And I'm just looking at my other lessons, so everything else does have that. It was just when I went into the corrections one.
Yeah, so same thing for reporting. Like your reporting for corrections is exactly the same as what you're doing as reporting for non-corrections. So I said, why do you need to answer any additional questions? You don't. Same thing for implementation timeline. And the budget, it should be incorporated into your regular ABE budget. Okay?
Got it.
Thank you, Christy, because I know you were not the only person that had that question.
And I shouldn't be seeing that, right? Because I'm not seeing that on my screen under my ALS application.
Yeah, you're right. There is no correction section of ALS. That is correct.
Okay.
Sarah, did you want to maybe let somebody else drive, somebody who might not be all that comfortable?
Hold on, I've got a question from Joanne. If I type directly into the box instead of the formula bar where the scaling occurs, will all the text in the box print or only what fits? Yes, everything that you put in the box will print, not just what fits. It will scale automatically to whatever you have in there. So if you're typing directly into Excel and not copying and pasting from Word, it will still scale. Okay? Any other questions? This is your chance.
The problem is, you come to the question when you get into it, if you're not sure of really what you're doing in the first place in working in Excel. So I can't tell you exactly what questions I have right now until I really get into it and see how it works.
Sarah, I don't mind if you share my phone number. If I'm in class, I wouldn't be able to answer people right away, but I can get back to them.
Okay, so
Or my
if you
email.
are sending me questions about content, I won't answer them because it's a competitive bid. But if you're sending me questions specifically about how to access the spreadsheets and things like that, I have been answering those. I'll warn you right now, I'm not answering any tomorrow because I'm going to Busch Gardens. And on Monday, I will be on an airplane for most of the day. So, you know, I'll go through my email this afternoon. I know there's a bunch of people who asked questions. Over the course of the last 2 days, it was really hard for me at the conference to get on the internet and have power to my laptop. So I will make sure that I answer all of those today. And then I will be back in the office on Tuesday morning. So if you have questions, you can send them to me. Again, I won't answer any questions related to content or how you should answer the questions. But if it's manipulating the Excel spreadsheet or where to put, what to do about formulas or copying and pasting and that kind of thing, and I will answer those questions. Okay? So you shouldn't really have to do anything on this Form 1 unless you add lines. If you add a line here, so for example, under supplies, if you added office supplies right here, okay, you will need to go over to Form 1 under 600. And you would need to add an additional line in here. I've put some in here to be able to add, just to type in a description of what it is, okay? But that's the only thing you would need to add over here. Everything else will be done automatically for you. Budget narrative, the boxes are just like the application. And the projections, when you have this little line here, I'm sorry, I'm not as technical as Nancy, but when there's a line there, that means it's pulling that information from someplace else. You don't have to remember what you put over here for your totals, because it will automatically fill in over here.
That's something you don't want to type over.
Right. So you can see where Nancy entered that 1,800 because it was the only one there, it put it in here automatically. Okay?
Take a look up, point out the formula, Sarah, up above, where it says ABE budget, the FY18 with the exclamation point. That calls out the sheet that this cell is linked to, and it's linked specifically to cell F19 on that sheet. Whatever you see before the exclamation sheet is the exclamation point is the sheet name, and then it calls out the cell. So there's not that much mystery in it. So you know what's going on.
If you go back to F19 on this, that's not a good sign that my computer just decided not to work again.
I think they get the idea though, huh?
Right. So if you, if you click on that, I was just going to show you what that cell looked like. Of course, I just lost. Okay, I just lost Excel altogether. My computer clearly does not like to work hard.
It thinks it's on vacation.
Apparently. Okay. Whatever. I think I got it back.
So what that formula was saying is pick up whatever is in cell F19 of that sheet named whatever it was.
ABE budget FY18. Well,
And if that cell gets disturbed, then Sarah can put it back in. But when you see something like that, don't type into that.
yeah. Okay, it's being very slow about reopening.
If you do, the world won't blow up.
Oh my. Oh, okay. Sorry. I just lost my computer entirely.
I can hear you. Can
Okay,
everybody?
I went away for a minute. It disappeared. Everything disappeared. My whole computer just totally locked up everything. So hold on a second. I think, yeah. I'm not going to be able to get back into Excel. It's not responding at all at this point. So here, you can look at me instead. How's that? Ready? Do you guys have any other questions that we can answer?
I don't, this is Carol.
I
Great.
think I'm all set.
Good.
Thank you.
Good. Well, I hope this was really helpful for you guys. And I apologize for not having gotten it done sooner. But now you know, and you can always send me more questions. And I'd show you outside, but it's not very nice out there.
Thank you for your attention, everybody. It was my pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Sarah, do you want to stay on with me?
Thanks.
Yep, I'm just going to stop the recording.